Hi, I'm Wayne Allyn Root for Personal Liberty. Many of you know that I'm Barack Obama's college classmate from Columbia University, class of '83. Well, back in 1981, when my Columbia classmates heard my hero, President Ronald Reagan, had been shot, they erupted in joy. They celebrated by jumping up and down, cheering, applauding, hugging, and giving each other high fives. They screamed, "Yes, Reagan's dead, they got that." You know what? I witnessed it all firsthand. My radical leftist classmates thought a conservative legend was dead, and this was a cause for celebration. I remember thinking, they're celebrating like it's New Year's Eve. After all, that's what you do on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. You celebrate. That memory inspired me to write a column celebrating Obama as we approach New Year's 2015. Let's not rehash the bad stuff, the disastrous stuff, the tragic stuff, the decline and perhaps even the death of America at the hands of a radical big brother tyrant. That's not the way to celebrate New Year's. Let's look at the bright side. You know, the glass is half full. Now, you might ask, what is the positive side, the bright side of the Obama presidency? Well, there are a few groups that should, in fact, celebrate. For my fellow constitutional and Second Amendment patriots, Obama is the greatest gun salesman in history. Over 70 million guns have been purchased since Obama took office. This man opens his mouth, reads from the teleprompter, and instantly, Americans are inspired to buy all-time record quantities of guns and ammo. If you're a fan of the Second Amendment or a gun dealer, Obama has been the answer to your prayers. Celebrate. For my fellow fiscal conservatives and capitalists, Obama is the greatest gold salesman ever. Conservatives love gold. Gold, after all, is the antidote to a debt crisis and a lack of confidence in a reckless or incompetent government. That's why record sums of gold were bought during the past 6 years. Central bankers worldwide bought more gold in one recent year than in half a century since 1964. Fiscal conservatives and gold dealers, rejoice! Obama's a walking billboard for God, guns, and gold. Celebrate. Obama is also the greatest thing to ever happen to print shop owners. While the rest of us are struggling to keep our heads above water, print shop owners can't keep up with the demand for going out of business signs and home for sale by bank signs. And what about all the protest signs funded by communist groups announcing, what do we want? Dead cops. Print shop owners, rejoice. You've never had it so good. Celebrate Obama. And then there are English as a second language teachers. There may be very few good jobs left in Obama's America, but if you speak both English and Spanish, the sky's the limit. With the border wide open and Obama announcing amnesty for illegals, celebrate if you're a teacher of English as a second language. You have the most in-demand job in America, for now. Unfortunately, demand for prison guards may soon surpass your job. Obama's the greatest thing to ever happen to government bureaucrats. The future is bright. If your goal is to sit in a windowless office handing out checks for welfare, food stamps, disability, and unemployment, all the while complaining you're overworked and underpaid. With almost 20% of all Americans now on food stamps alone, forget about welfare and all the other entitlements, there's enough work for you to last a lifetime. Or at least 20 years until you retire at age 45 and collect an obscene pension for the next 40 or 50 years for not working. Celebrate if you're a government employee. And what about the boom in basements? With Obama and his socialist cabal in control for another 2 years, basements are the new hip living space for young adults. At this moment, 31% of all Americans between the ages of 18 and 34 live with their parents. Obama's high taxes and massive regulations guarantee millions of college graduates will either stay unemployed or underemployed in low-wage jobs, force them to live in mommy and daddy's basement for years to come. Basements are no longer lonely, dusty places to store old furniture. In the age of Obama, they're where you store your 30-year-old unemployed children. Pharmaceutical companies are celebrating, and they should. A record 30 million Americans are dependent on antidepressants. There'd be tens of millions more, except many Americans who are depressed self-medicate with alcohol. If you sell drugs or booze, give a shout out this New Year's to Barack Obama, the greatest salesman for your products ever. And then, of course, there are the cop haters who are celebrating, and you should. To think you used to be misunderstood, hated pariahs of society. Today you're in favor, with Obama praising you for hating cops. He encourages you to protest, loot, burn, and act like exactly what you are, idiots who have no interest in ever getting a job. But don't worry, this New Year's you can come out of the closet, celebrate, and be openly you, the cop hater. Unfortunately, the rest of us are hiding in the closet because you're now on the streets. If you're a radical Muslim terrorist, or just someone who sympathizes with radical Muslims, i.e., a Democrat. Celebrate. Obama's the best thing that ever happened to you. Under Obama, America has become a politically correct shell of its former self. Rest easy. There will be no more enhanced interrogations. And if you're caught, you'll live like a king in Guantanamo or some other prison, provided with a Koran, a prayer rug, religiously approved food, basketball courts, and expensive lawyers. And then once you're rested up, you'll be released by Obama back to the battlefield, ready to again cut off heads and slaughter women and little children. Obama's the best thing that ever happened to you. Celebrate. If you're Fidel and Raul Castro, celebrate. By opening relations and trade, Obama saved Cuba from economic collapse and the certain death of communism. He asked for nothing in return, so you get to remain a communist nation, jail your political opposition, steal the people's income while enjoying the prosperity that comes from doing business with America's biggest companies. Celebrate Obama, the savior of communism, on New Year's Day. Finally, we come to Vladimir Putin. He's celebrating like it's 1999, as the old song goes, this New Year's. God handed him the gift of a lifetime, Barack Obama. Obama pulled off a miracle for Putin and the Russian people. He made your bankrupt, decaying country look like a world power again. He gave you power over the world. He gave your demoralized military swagger. Obama managed to do something even Putin couldn't do. Put Mother Russia in the driver's seat and America in the backseat. The only question is this a coincidence or was this Obama's plan all along? Yes, there's certainly a lot to celebrate this New Year's. Unfortunately, the celebrating belongs to the enemies of America and American exceptionalism and the American dream and Judeo-Christian values and capitalism and the enemies of cops. That's who's doing the celebrating. I'm Wayne Alaroot for Personal Liberty. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your support in this past year. I greatly appreciate your reading my column. I read each and every comment under every column. I love to hear what you think. Happy New Year and enjoy your food, celebration, and football today. God bless America in 2015.